AF Warriors, what a week. Why don't we start here with the S&Ps because we've had a lot of risk off. They're trying to bring it back. I would guess that there's probably a lot of people hoping for another graveyard save. Actually, a friend of mine showed me this channel in the S&Ps which saved the look at the hits here, and here. I don't have my lines too thin, but holding this uptrend. To expect this type of reversal that we had last Friday, I think is a low probability. I think probabilities are rising substantially for this trend to give way. In fact, my philosophy on trend lines are their destiny is to be broken. So I do believe this will be broken. I think we could be here by Christmas or sooner, which is a prior all-time high at 61.40. They may hold it today, but the tone has definitely changed. As far as currencies are concerned, getting a little give back in the euro, but it's done nothing wrong. Could be just flagging up here. We could get a correction if we do 1560 as a line in the sand for the euro's continuation move to the upside. Yesterday, I said if you wanted to be long the dollar, you could have shorted Aussie, and that worked from up here. You book it. And when it comes down to the end, the shorts were given at 55. So even here, there's still 80 pips. As you can see, we're playing with this wedge line right now. And we have a little bit of a tail. And with all the risk off, even though it was a winning trade, I'm really not that impressed. Like we're down 40 and they keep trying to buy this stuff. I think that you go the door on at least half and tighten up the stops or even a profit stop. If you don't tighten them up, I don't think you want to see it back over this high, yesterday's high, which was 476, so that you'd be risking 60 on your remainder, but it would still be a profitable trade on the remainder if you did it up here. We have to also address, I was looking at this in Canada and on the daily, and I know this doesn't jive with a weaker dollar scenario, but here I see two drives. I see one, I see two. We still have a higher low here. If we could start penetrating 40 and a half, which is about 30 pips higher, why can't we have a third drive up at new highs here? And with the commodity currencies actually the weaker. So we'll see what happens here with Canada. I have no position on that. And it's now time to address gold. So people that have watched me on interviews and these types of my TGH streams for weeks, I was talking about I'm being patient, and I'm waiting for a 4,200 sale. Got above 4,200 by $40. But to me, this still looks like a failing rally here, and that we could have something like this from here, which was about $600. So that could take you down towards the 3,600 level on follow through. Really, what's taking gold down isn't a strong dollar, it's liquidity. So people sell what they have to. And when you have downdrafts like this in equities, gold may just, it does have risk on properties. You look at S&Ps, you look at gold, they both had bull moves this year. I don't know which one was stronger. I assume the gold was. So I think gold, even though it's still closing higher in the week, potentially topped with a failing rally here, and that we should be headed lower. Silver, a double top. We didn't even take out the high of the move here. I think we missed it by a dime. This high was 54.46, and this was 39. So the stops that were above the high didn't get taken out. Couple of ways to look for potential targets in silver is equality, which would just take it back down to 46, or you use some type of fib extension of this move, and let's call this for $8. So if we go to the big extension, 1.618, that would give you $13 from yesterday's high of 54.39, which would give you about $41, $42 for a target in silver. The XAU did reverse yesterday, and it's following through today. I don't think it's higher on the week, but the shares got pretty obliterated too. They were all failing rallies, and some of the juniors really didn't perform well at all. For example, here's AG, down pretty good from those highs. Um, some of these little ones really took it on the shoulders. Here's B2 Gold. Okay. So maybe they're going to try and rally him. Here's GDX. So they're actually acting okay in the face of gold being sharply lower. Um, Here's how the semiconductors look coming in. They're trying to recover here too, but pretty negative week. And then something that led the way that was my market tell for a while was Bitcoin. And I said we take out these lows. We're doing it. Let's see what kind of RSI reading we're getting. Well, if we get a reversal, I guess you could have some divergence. I don't know if this is going to be the big day or not. On a Friday, I'm not real big on reversals unless it's accompanied by things like NFP or something like that. So I'm still not ready to buy this market. Um, it could still have under 90 in the possible realm. Um, I believe Ethereum has not taken out the lows yet. It's still holding. So it doesn't mean you buy it today, but this is a market tell that when crypto bottoms, your preferred long is going to be Ethereum over Bitcoin, just because it's holding up better so that when things turn, it most likely will outperform to the upside. Talked about oil a little bit yesterday, said that, that it was a decent shot to try and buy it on that down day yesterday that was here, risking the lows, and we're getting a pretty good update today. Still think there's a chance for $64 in the coming days. And, let's just look at the stock indexes to wrap it up. So I showed you that trend line under today's lows, which is just a little bit above last Friday's lows. To me, it looks like, 6,400 could be next. 65 is going to be big. But again, my target I've been talking about for a while is 6140. And here's the reason. So this is a daily. 6114 is 38% back. I think this is a conservative target. Also, 6140 was the highs before the the tariff tantrum down here. So you have confluence of a fib, confluence of a 50-week moving average, and a prior historic high. So I think I've been pretty much spot on everything this week. It doesn't usually happen, but once in a while, a broken clock is right twice a day. You have any comments or anything else that I haven't been covering? I've gotten some tweets on how people took advantage of the downside in silver puts, etc. And a lot of people did use the XAU. I've had some comments on how they use the gold silver ratio to time getting out or getting short. So it's a good thing to learn. It's still a down week, but we're holding the lows, and maybe we get some equality that pushes it back up towards 90. And then that'll be it. That'll be the time to be buying precious metals, especially silver. So good hunting the rest of the day. Don't try and make your week on a Friday. Okay. And hope that you're learning some things so that you could repeat it on your own without me being around to tell you about it, because that's how you're going to become an independent trader, is to learn these things and be able to execute it on your own. Things like three drives, how I use the RSI for staying with trends or looking for turning points in the market. So everyone have a great weekend. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And